Hello, it's Nicola from Trentham Invest. Today I'd like to talk to you about the new pension landscape and legislation that's come in and really enlighten those people and everybody who's going to be affected in the UK. In fact, everybody who has a pension in the UK is going to be affected, and those who think, well, you know, I didn't have a large pot, I didn't have a lifetime protection certificate, so it won't affect me, probably the ones that most need to focus. The new rules, as any pension legislation is complex. We had an announcement in 2023 that there were some really great things happening with pensions and what regulations were going out, and that was the real focus. And those sort of things going out were lifetime allowance limits, lifetime allowance testing at age 75, lifetime allowance excess charges at 55% and 25% plus marginal rate, income tax, and it all sounded terribly positive. However, what they haven't focused on is what's coming in to replace all of that, and that's really what today is about. I've read a number of papers, I've been to a number of seminars, webinars, etc. And I've been reading things that look like this, which even to people like me who've been studying pensions for many years, it is a dull and hard read. There's pages and pages of words, they're all black and white, and you can't make hide and hair of it without studying for a long, long time. And my thoughts have been, well, I've got a number of clients that will all be affected in some way or other, or not affected, and how am I going to handle and manage those? And there's just no way as a business you can give personal advice on a one-by-one basis without a system, without a method of people going through. Because just making everyone up one at a time will just take far too long, and people will want to release cash benefits from their pension, and they certainly can't wait in a long queue. So that's where my thinking has been over the last 4 weeks. How do I create a system? How do we create a system that will fit everybody and will allow people to go down their own personal route and come out with their own personal answers at the other end? And for those of you who know Trentham, we have a mole as our logo, and this really is a mole tunnel for each person individually. So you're all going to go down one hole and you'll all pop out at different tunnels and the ends of a tunnel, somewhere down the lawn, somewhere down the garden or a field, but you know with confidence you've popped out the right hole for you. And so cutting through all that fatty jargon, deciphering the legislation, it is what I love. It's what I find very creative, and I can make light of a very dull and intense and heavy subject. So what have we been doing? I've created a method for everybody so that you can see from your own confidence and know your own tunnel. I've created questions that you can answer confidently or with a bit of help and support from us. And whatever your answer is, you can then decide. The big decision is, do you need a tax-free cash certificate? So back in the day and back for many years, there have been lifetime allowance protection certificates, but they're not out the window, but something new is coming in, which is a tax-free cash certificate that people might need to protect your tax-free cash allowances. Now, as I've said at the beginning, if you think, well, I've never had a protection certificate before, I've taken a bit of pension benefits before, I'm not going to be affected, watch out, you will. What are the things that we're going to do? So the first thing is to test whether you need to get a tax-free cash certificate. Now you can go wading through all the black and white words, or you can use our simple diagram, which everybody will go in here, and there's a series of questions, and they're simple yeses and nos, and at the end of each set of questions, yes or no, it will pop out, and the answers are, so there's 3 outcomes really. One outcome is you need to do a calculator to assess whether you have higher tax-free cash in the old regime, or if you need a transitional tax-free amount certificate. That test, if it says yes, you need one of those, then we'll take you down another journey. The other outcome is there's no allowance available to you, and therefore there's nothing further to do. Or the third outcome is there's nothing for you to do in terms of calculating. However, if you've got an individual or fixed protection or some sort of lifetime allowance protection certificate, the rules of those will override and you will retain all those protected benefits. So they're the 3 main outcomes. So we've got on our diagram a little mole coming out with a calculator. So if you need to do that, we've built there's lots of data input tools, but we've made ours a bit more friendly to use. It's not something we're going to issue out to clients per se, but we'll definitely share your results. And it is all about having your past data, and that is critical to be able to put into that system. So all your past history of lifetime allowance that you've taken, tax-free cash amounts that you've taken in the past, all of those need to be available at your fingertips to be able to do an accurate assessment. If you've been a client with us for those years, we've got all the data and we've got all that information, and so we'll be able to help you through that system. Once we've done that, and if you do need a calculator, and the answer is you should get a certificate, we're then going to do a sense check. And the reason being is because unlike the lifetime allowance protection certificates that you could just go on the HMRC website and a couple of clicks and get your certificate, to get the tax-free cash one, you need to produce all your data and all your information to the provider that is going to release some tax-free cash for you. This is not a walk in the park. It's not even a jog around the block. It is like climbing Mount Everest. It's going to take 90 days. You need to pack your bags with all the information. You need to get all your information first, pack them, and then go off on a big hike for 90 days. So if getting that certificate isn't going to add any value because your pot isn't big enough, because it's not going to grow enough for you to benefit, then there's no need to go and climb this mountain. So we'll do a sense check with you and then make a good choice and a good decision. So that's our system. This is our sense check, a couple of questions on there. We've illustrated that with a mountain and some moles going up there because it's going to be pretty hard hike. For those people who do need a certificate where the answer is such that yes, we've got somebody where they're going to be £40,000 better off with a certificate, and so that's definitely worth a hike. We'll be with you, getting all the information together, sending it to the provider to get your certificate, and then that will override, and you'll make sure that you protect the tax-free cash allowance in your pension pots, and so that you are not disadvantaged by ignorance or putting your head in the sand or running down the wrong tunnel. So yes, about 21 million people affected. If you have a pension pot, just get checked, go through that decision maker. If you want to contact us, please do. Feel free to send us an inquiry, and we're certainly going to be helping every pension client that we have within our business. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening today, and we look forward to hearing from you and helping you get down the right tunnel.